Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Concho Sports Insider. I'm your host, Zach Carlick, alongside me co-host Arlen Ponder. Arlen, how you doing tonight?
Good. How about you, bud?
Man, I am doing great. I'm excited about this show. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, I think. And what I think is the best thing about this show that we're starting up here, the first episode tonight, is we're going to highlight a bunch of people around the Concho Valley and talk about the great things that are going on in the high school sports realm of the Concho Valley. Now, I noticed something. We both got some similar colors on tonight. I'm wearing my purple. There it is. That's over here.
See, you're wearing your purple. I'm wearing my Tarleton. Heck yeah.
I got my antelopes, kind of similar to the ASU Rams over there. Yeah. And but there's a lot of things.
And I had to rep my Eagle TV because, you know, you just got to rep my kids here.
If you say so. I'm kidding, Arlen. No, we got a lot of things, but let's talk about some of the things we've done. So just coming up, just so we let our audience know, Monday we do have the Bobcat Insider, and we're going to have three-time defending, I don't know, have they gone to state yet? Haven't heard yet. The gymnastics team at Central.
I haven't heard yet.
I know before this year, three-time defending state champions.
State champs. What does that take to get to state champ?
A lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, a lot of getting up in the mornings, and a lot of moms and dads supporting.
Yeah, you know, one of the teams we covered this year here at Concho Sports, we had the opportunity to cover Monterey basketball. Yep. One of the playoff games with Aaliyah Chavez, number one recruit in the nation out of Lubbock up there. She went on to win the state championship. Mm-hmm. And I was reading a thing about her the other day that talked about 5 o'clock morning workouts at 11 years old.
And, you know, we hear about that, and then you hear about, like, RG3, his dad, doing the same thing and making him get up and making him – but you also – the other thing that comes out of that, not only do you get a good athlete, you get a good disciplined kid most of the time.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, you're right. What does it take to get to that three-time defending state champion? It takes 5 a.m. workouts, hard work. And the students and athletes at the gymnastics team there at Central have done that. So we'll be talking to them, though. We're going to talk to them Monday night.
That's awesome.
7 o'clock with Coach Smith's going to be there. We're going to talk to the gymnastics team as they get ready to go to state. And then right after that at 8 o'clock, we'll have the Chief Insider with track and field.
Which is cool because track and field is just starting now.
Yeah.
All the meets are starting in 2 weeks?
A week or
Saturday,
two.
But next Saturday we're
like
doing the it's not the Blue Bonnet relays, that's Brownwood.
You got me. I'm still new to this.
San Angelo relays, that's it. Yeah.
I'm still new to all the San Angelo stuff. But that's going to be Monday live at Shenanigans, folks. Come out and check us out there. So looking at some of the stuff we've done here, you know, I don't know if you know this. Did you know we streamed 27 playoff games for NFHS in basketball alone here at Concho Valley Sports?
Which is cool because how many did we do in football? And now we're just gradually, and the coolest thing that a lot of folks don't know, we did a game at the Alamo Dome. So Concho Sports rolled into the Alamo Dome and covered the eventual state champs.
Yep.
The Rangers from, and I'll think of it and we'll get to it.
Well, and you ask, you know, how many we cover in football. I mean, I know I did 6 just for Wall, who's one of the teams we're going to highlight on this show.
Yeah, and I did, I think, 4. So
yeah.
And they were all different schools. So
and I didn't do any football games with you, so there's 10.
Yeah.
That's a lot of football.
That's a lot. And we would have probably done more, but unfortunately one of our mutual friends decided they wanted to go up north.
Yeah.
And, you know, the military called him away to go to some training.
We missed Russell.
Miss Russ, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be coming in with talking to us. I know he's excited to do the Coach Slaughter show.
Yes.
Coming up in the fall, just like we do the.
Yeah, he's kicking me. He's going to be kicking me out of the wall coverage. I love doing the wall coverage. You know what I like about the wall coverage? Getting to do the home games and getting those sausages they make that the students make.
Really? You got sausages?
Yeah, they were good. They were so good. And
I was usually standing in line for the bathroom.
No, I like to eat. I mean, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
So we had maiden soccer last night. We got some highlights coming up shortly on Concho here on the Concho Sports Network.
Yep.
You got Chiefs soccer tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 5:30. They're taking on Pecos.
Yep. Taking on Pecos.
Yep. Bobcats and Lady Cat soccer versus Friendship. 5:30 and 7:30 respectively. Tuesday.
Yeah.
A lot of soccer.
This soccer season.
Yeah. Full swing.
And cool thing about that, we have somebody that played So we have a young lady that's coming in.
Oh.
So not only are you going to get to hear us old guys talk all the time, you're going to hear
sure
a
they get
young
tired of
lady
hearing us.
perspective. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Well, maybe an expert perspective is the better way.
True, because she played. We're, hey.
I do not look. I don't know soccer. I'm not going to lie to you. I played soccer in the Air Force, indoor soccer in the gyms. You know, that was about as good as it got for me, and I wasn't very good.
Right.
I mean, I ran into the wall and gave myself a concussion. I bounced my head off the concrete wall at the gym. So I'm not a soccer guy, so I don't know it. I don't understand the offside rule. I mean, I don't.
Oh, see, and I played for.
But my kids play. My kids love soccer. They play soccer. So I guess I need to learn it, huh?
Yeah, and see, I played for about 4 years, and I loved playing it because, you always try to get like a foul is what I always tried to get.
So you talked about track season starting up the 15th from 11 to 5. We'll have coverage of the San Angelo relays. The finals next Saturday.
That's it. We're excited for that.
So, and we'll have some soccer playoffs on the NFHS network, and then it's time to get into baseball and softball.
And I've already seen there at TLCA where, I teach. I've already seen them out practicing, and they're already playing, and we'll talk about TLCA and how they got smoked pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard about
by
that.
Wall, and I heard that there were like 5 grand slams in one inning. So
that's 20 runs.
Yeah, we can talk about it now. I guess it ended up being 33-0. 34 to nothing. So yeah,
I was looking up the Merkel Grape Creek score, and I saw that score pop up there.
But Wall's just a powerhouse.
Wall's good.
Wall's really good. And talking sports, but I also saw where Wall won digital animation film state champion.
Wow, that's impressive.
And what it is for those is it's 1A, 2A, and 3A,
yeah,
all combined. So they won state.
Yeah, one of my former students was in the finals for that in the 4A division. He ended up taking 5th, I think. But that's still something to be there.
Yeah, it's awesome to be
there.
So,
so let's talk about we're going to start talking about that Maidens game last night. Were you there?
No. Brandon was. We need to get him up here.
Brandon was there. Hey, we can get Brandon up here.
Yeah, Brandon, get up here.
So we had the Maidens game last night, and so we're going to let Arlen step out and bring Brandon here. Brandon, you were there last night.
Yes, I was, and I have to adjust this microphone. I'm not as
Arlen's
gifted as Mr. Ponder over here.
I'm not sure I'd use gifted as a word for Arlen.
That's the man right there, Zach.
Gifted or talented. Well, I try.
So are you, sir.
So he's
Glad
the gifted, I'm the talented, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about this Maidens game. What happened last night? How'd it go?
So funny you say that, Zach. So I was the single commentator last night.
That is a tough game to do by yourself.
It was tough, but so that's a little notch I could put in my belt, right?
Sure.
No, so what happened? So last night the Maidens, I guess you could say, technically speaking, they were, I guess, for the previous matchup, they beat Sweetwater 5-0, and I think it was January 31st. And so figuring that, okay, well, if that's how it went last time, okay, well, it might go this time.
Sure. And I've learned in soccer that isn't always the case.
That is not always the case. Yeah. As the Sweetwater girls scored off a corner kick, which for those of you who don't know, it's just how it sounds.
It's kick out of the corner.
Kick out of the corner, and it was a great pass towards the middle.
Was it a banana kick that curved?
Well, no, yeah, it was arcing just like this, and then hit one of them in the chest. Bam, just like that.
Straight in.
Right in the goal.
I love goals like that.
Yeah, so
I'm not a soccer guy, but I love seeing those exciting things like that.
Absolutely. And that was just remember that was in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Wow.
After that, Lakeview, they were able to get the ball a bunch of times. They had 4 shots on goal, but just unfortunately could not. So
Sweetwater won.
Sweetwater won 1-0.
Sweetwater is not known for winning a lot of soccer. That is for sure.
Yeah. So that,
especially in that district.
That took their record to I think 4-7-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So
better than they've been doing.
Yes, sir. So
hate to see the Maidens take a loss like that here in the Concho Valley, but it does happen.
It does happen, unfortunately.
And I know the Maidens and the Chiefs are well known for their
soccer.
Because
also then tomorrow we are going to have the Lakeview boys,
Pecos
here at 5:30 at the stadium. Okay. And the boys, if I'm not mistaken, are undefeated.
That wouldn't surprise me. They're pretty loaded this year.
So let's and then we also celebrated Coach Jones' 100th win
Wow.
a few
that's impressive.
a few weeks ago. So yeah, so obviously tomorrow they are definitely, I would say, favorite to win against Pecos. So, but like you said, Zach, thing about soccer is you can make all these different adjustments, and it can
but the other team makes a different adjustment.
That's it.
It's sort of like football. I mean, they do call it football.
Yeah, it is. It's football everywhere else in the world.
Yeah,
Except in
but
America.
even in American football, sometimes it's just the adjustments you make.
Yes, sir.
And teams make that. Now we got Central. Central's got some games coming up next week.
Yes, sir. We have
against Friendship.
Yes, sir.
And those are big matchups. Those 6A matchups. And from what I understand, Central teams are doing pretty decent this year as well.
Yeah, so the boys, I think they were 9. I think I know the boys have a positive record so far. I think the girls, unfortunately, because we did talk to
a little bit of a struggle.
So we talked to Coach Rodriguez. I think at the
we had him on the Insider. Yeah,
on the Insider. I think that might have been his name. I think Jay. Yes. No.
I don't remember the name, but I know they talked about.
Yeah,
I know they talked about their growing though. The team is growing, and they were limited on the number of seniors.
Yes.
But man, they have a lot of depth coming up.
Yeah. So so from like you said, Zach, from got sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
So obviously next year being the seniors, but then being able to have those even some freshmen come up. Right, so freshmen, sophomores, and just being able to say, hey, every year we're going to try and get better. And I guess this program is young, but
it is.
It's
very young.
You want to get better every single.
In soccer, when you have a good group of freshmen like he has on that team, it's a young team.
Yes, sir.
But man, that group's going to be real good and hard to contend with in years to come.
100%. And remember, we also it's the doubleheader.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
Yep.
At the old Bobcat.
5:30 and 7:30.
Yes, sir. And I will be on the call. So hopefully.
So you know what this sounds like to me, Brandon?
Yeah,
you are becoming the resident soccer guru.
Yeah, well, guru. Well.
Is this from your FIFA days?
Thank you, Zach. Shout out to FIFA. Shout out to EA because and also shout out to one of my good friends, Chris. So it's funny, Zach. So real quick, one of my good friends, he's been a soccer fan for as long as I can remember. He's like, yeah, Brad, you should play soccer. I'm not playing no soccer. What? I'm football and basketball, baby.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was around like FIFA 16, FIFA 17. And I was like, because I know I told the story when we did the Insider, but like just kind of the same, with basketball, how I like how you can move the ball and stuff like that. And then with soccer, kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
Pass. Oh wait.
Pass. Shoot.
Like this is like
find the hole.
Find the hole. Find the gaps and everything like that. So I was able to kind of fall in love with the game.
Hey, you're becoming a soccer guru, man.
Thank
no
you,
time
sir.
at all. So, we appreciate you, Brandon. Appreciate you coming in here and talking to us. And,
yes, sir.
We're going to bring that other guy, Arlen, back in.
The man, the myth. Get on up.
We're going to talk about some Wall stuff going on. We've already hinted at a little bit of it. So before we go to break real quick, Wall 34-0 over TLCA.
Incredible.
2 Concho Valley teams taking each other on.
And, it's not like there's bad talent there.
No.
It's just that I think they got...
Well, and
4 or 5 grand slams in one inning will do that for you.
Well, and when you're able to see the ball, and I'm a baseball guy.
Right.
I'm a baseball, softball guy. I love it. When you're able to see the ball, great things happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And it sounds like, I didn't see the game, but that's what it sounds like happened with Wall. They just were able to see the ball, and maybe TLCA wasn't.
Well, and there's some days that you just, my dad always used to say, you win some, you lose some get rained out.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
You just don't. Some days you just don't have a good day, and you see that. But not the problem is if you decide to stay there.
Yeah.
The problem becomes if you decide to dwell there and go, okay, well, I don't want to do it. Yeah. But if you take that and you go, I don't like the way this tastes. And that's what I used to tell my linemen all the time. You don't like that loss and the way it tasted? You eat that for this week.
While we're talking about Wall here for a moment, I know Wall was predicted to be district champions in that district.
Right.
They're pretty good. But I'm going to tell you something. People cannot count out Merkel in that district in baseball. And I'm going to tell you why. So they got a new coach. And the only reason I know this is the coach is a good friend of mine.
Right.
Taylor Snodgrass. He's the new head coach up there for baseball up there in Merkel. They came down and beat Paint Creek 13-1 yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and Merkel has not really been on the map, but they are well coached. And while they may not win district, I think they're going to give Wall a run. We'll see what happens when they meet up. But Taylor's got that team well coached. They don't play Wall till near the end of the year, so that could be a district championship type series when they get down here.
Yeah, it could. And going back to coaching now, talking about TLCA, Coach Jewell, who used to be the coach at Central, is now the coach at TLCA.
And Central's not been known for slacking in baseball.
No, they're not. So he's the new head coach at TLCA. He has those guys, and they are, I believe they're in Clyde this weekend for a tournament. So he's got them. It's going to take him a little bit to build his team.
Yep.
But he's going to have them playing good ball. And I think it's going to be a good competitive district.
Yeah. Oh, I do too,
around.
especially in that 3A district, because there's some good teams with Jim Ned, Wall, Grape Creek, TLCA, Merkel, and Sweetwater. Sweetwater new to that district.
Sweetwater, yeah. Sweetwater in that district.
7-team district, and 3 of them are going to be out of the running. And I'm going to tell you, don't sleep on Sweetwater either. Sweetwater's known for their baseball.
Well, and they're Mustangs. That's all you got to say.
Oh, man, here we go. Here we go, folks. There's the fight there for you. So, folks, we're going to take a break here. When we get back, we're going to talk about some more stuff. We're going to go over some TLCA stuff, some Concho Valley School stuff, things going on around the area. We're not just here to talk about San Angelo. We're going to talk about them all when we can. So give us a moment. We'll be right back here on Concho Sports Insider. We'll be right back.
Check out why First Community Federal Credit Union is the #1 local auto lender in the Concho Valley.
With great low rates on new, used, and refinance autos, we can save you money. First Community has great payment options and low prices for GAP, extended warranty, and credit life insurance, so we can make your payment fit your budget. So be smart, bank smart, and contact First Community for your auto financing needs.
Damon Bell Photography and Drone Services for all your photo and video needs. Call 325-245-9663. Oh, and we also do sports. Call today.
All right, folks, welcome back to Concho Sports Insider. So let's talk about some other schools around the area. We had some good basketball teams in this area that made some good playoff runs.
Yeah,
we
they
got to
did.
cover a few of them.
We got to do, you and I did
Garden City and
in Eula. And Eula, that team went on to win state.
Yep.
And those girls came out, they were dropping threes. I think they shot 13 threes to start the game.
Yeah, it was something crazy in the first half.
Crazy, and they just launched them.
But here's the thing, Garden City stayed with them most of the game.
Yeah, they really did. It wasn't a bad.
If I remember right, it was like a 10-point game in the end, but
it was only like a 2-point game and half.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it was tight.
It was a very tight game, very well played game. Garden City in that it was a regional final game. Garden City ended up losing there. Eula would go on to beat Borden County in the state semifinals and end up winning state.
Yeah.
Well,
another one we did,
but Eula was good. And Garden City was number 6 in the state when that happened.
Yeah, they were number 6, and they put them. They easily put them down. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it was a good game.
As Garden City played, it did look easy for Eula.
It did look, and we knew. You and I both made the comment after we finished that game. There's your state champ right there.
We did. And they looked like it,
and they played like it. Now Water Valley, their girls went 3 rounds deep. Yeah, I called one of their games. Water Valley,
big upset they had, didn't they?
It was a huge upset. I forget who they were playing, but we called it in Garden City. And it was a great game to call and to watch. There's things like it could have been a lot easier,
right?
But there were a couple of players that, they wanted to take the shot rather than just go over in the corner and dribble a little bit and pass it off and dribble it back.
So here's one for you that I thought was interesting: the Water Valley boys. So after we had that Eula and Water Valley or Garden City girls game, we had the Garden City boys game that Garden City walked away very handily over.
Another one that they walked out, those boys walked out and started dropping threes.
Yeah. Well, Water Valley and Garden City are in their same district.
Right.
Okay. Water Valley went 4 rounds deep and ended up meeting up that next game for Garden City. Mm-hmm. And Garden City ended up taking them out 40-38.
Not
in
a
the
bad
regional
game.
semifinals.
Yeah.
No, not a bad game at all. Here's the thing, though. That's the boys' side, and typically you see higher scores than that. You see in the 60s and 70s a lot of times. That game tells me, and we saw this in the Garden City game that we had, that very defensive game.
Yeah, and Garden City had, if I remember right, Garden City had those boys. They were tall.
They had some tall
boys, and that was one of the things that
very long,
wide wingspan, things like that. So they were tough to get that ball up on.
And they were fast.
And ran the break good,
So-
and full court press broke it down too.
Yeah. So my point there is that Water Valley has nothing to sneeze about. They have nothing to hang their head about. I mean, they ran into a really good Garden City team, 4 rounds deep in the playoffs. I think that's the regional finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think I said regional semis. I think it's the regional finals, if I'm not mistaken, because that's typically where you would run into someone from your own district.
Right.
And, I mean, you ran into your district champion. It happens.
Well, and how amazing is it to say that district has teams like, and it was Rankin is who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
They were playing, I think they played the girls. And how amazing is it to go, look how deep that district is. Every once in a while you find those districts that are put together where it's like, oh, okay, well, this team's always going to be the powerhouse. It's like the little Southwest Conference. You can't say, oh, this team is going to run away with it, because it's not always going to happen.
That's true. You also had out of that area, you had Robert Lee. They went 3 rounds deep.
And should have beat Benjamin, from what I understand.
Yeah, it was an overtime game.
Yeah, overtime.
50-46, pretty close game. And
so we called that game. Not us.
Yeah, not
but
me
Concho
and you.
Sports called that game.
We did 27 of them. That was very likely to happen. Yeah. My point here is, you look at that district, you had Garden City, Robert Lee, Water Valley, Robert Lee 3 rounds deep, Garden City or Water Valley 4 rounds deep. Garden City, I think, ended up going out in the state semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. 5 rounds deep. That's a lot of success in that district.
Yeah, incredible. And like I said, what does that say about that district? You're never going to be able to go, oh, well, they're going to be the champs. They're going to do this, because there's always going to be. Now, there's teams that are going to change as you through attrition and things like that, but you're always going to have good players probably coming in there.
Yeah. So, folks, one of the things we want to talk about here real quick is looking at what's going to come up for this show. So there's a couple things we're going to be working on and getting a little bit better. And one of those is going to be standings and things. We don't have standings tonight only because the baseball season is really, really young right now for district teams. We know Wall's in first place with Merkel and someone else at 1-0. That's how young the baseball season is for the district areas right now. So to sit here and give standings right now just doesn't do us any good for baseball. Basketball season's over. So
we're kind of in that transition period.
It's a really weird area, right? It's a really
yeah.
So
it's spring break. That's what
there it is. Hey, that's
spring
a
break.
Great way to say it. It's spring break for sports.
It's 5 days until spring break. 6 days if you.
I don't know about you, but I'm already in spring break mode.
I've been in spring break mode a while. So
weren't you in spring break mode back in August?
Yeah, somewhere about August 15th, somewhere.
Yeah. But one thing we're going to want to do is to get all these teams and highlight what's going on in the districts, how they're standing right now. But another thing we've talked about doing is having the student athletes from the San Angelo schools, at least, and being able to honor those student athletes. Now, I know you honored one today earlier, a TLCA student,
actually we did
Eagle of the Week.
Actually, we did an Eagle of the Week.
That's right.
Which is what we do every Thursday here. We do Eagle of the Week. We also did Brandon did Lakeview, and he did a maiden who was a power lifter. I can't remember her name off the top of our heads, but Brandon, who was it? Malia. State. She's headed to state next week.
I'm gonna tell you something. You go to powerlifting in state, that you're throwing some iron up,
dude. I think she said 280 is what she squat or benched.
Bench 240.
Bench 210.
Okay,
210. Are you?
That's more than me. No, I'm not that skinny.
Well,
I wish I was.
But
I was trying to.
What amazing!
More than you, though.
True. Well, what amazing to have 2 power lifters in the house and to be highlighted by 2 different schools.
I got some heavy lifting to do at the house. Can we get her back?
Hey, I don't know. But one of them, the Lakeview maiden, told me she's going to bleed in a little purple for us.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah,
Goodness.
she and I immediately, as Katie
Indoctrination has started.
It has. Katie always says, y'all are a cult. Yes, we are. We are a cult.
Don't worry. We were a cult at Tech as well, so I can say that.
But, you talk about that. One thing that I want to say is if you've got an athlete out there,
Hey, let's hear about them.
let us hear about them. I'm talking very best, paint rock. If you just send us a message, send an email, whatever, hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find us, hit us up and let us know. And we'll be more than happy to talk about them because we want to talk about those kids.
We want to highlight anything that's going on in this show in the Concho Valley sports region. We know that there's more than just what's going on at Central and Lakeview and TLCA. You mentioned them, very best, paint rock,
Miles, Ballinger,
Bangs, Wall, and we'll probably cover Wall quite a bit. I mean, that's kind of part of our coverage group.
We'll cover them.
We might talk about TLCA once in a while.
Every once in a while, some Grape Creek, do a little Sterling City, Robert Lee, all these teams out there. If you're listening to us or you can hear us and you'll want us to talk about it, send us a message.
Let us know. Yeah, we want to highlight those stories, highlight the great things that our students are doing, not just on the field, but off the field as well.
Yeah, and in the classroom too.
And in the classroom, absolutely.
We're sports, but we're also teachers.
Well, you know what I say that though? They're students.
And then
they're student athletes, but they're students first.
Yep.
And so we want to be able to highlight all those things, folks. So send us your stories. Let us talk to them and have a good time with it. This has been a great show.
It's been fun.
I've enjoyed it.
I have too.
Even though you were here.
Hey.
I'm sure you enjoyed it in spite of me as well.
We had to let Brandon on the set too. So,
You know what that was about, though?
He's the only one of us that knows soccer.
Exactly. He's the only one that knows anything. And so, he makes us look good.
Yeah, that's right.
I always tell my students, if you don't know something, find someone that does, and they help you look good. And you look good by knowing how to go to your resources.
Well, see, before too long, we'll have pieces in our ear, and
he
can just feed it straight into us. There.
That's an idea.
Yeah,
we'll look smart.
We'll look even smarter.
We don't need to bring in other people to look. Oh,
actually, we'll be like SVP, and we can have him sit over in the corner and come on every once in a while and talk about bad beats or something.
Man, I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we can badmouth the Bears too, and he can't really say anything.
That's true. We can talk about the Bears.
But you know what? They
just signed two linemen, interior linemen.
Yeah, they also signed my terrible coach from the Saints. Hey,
yep.
Well, Arlen, it's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun, folks. We want to thank you for watching. Okay, so don't forget we've got the Chief Insider and Bobcat Insider Monday night live from Shenanigans. Come out and see us there. You got the doubleheader on Tuesday against Friendship, the Lady Bobcats and the Bobcats. We've got tomorrow night, Lakeview Chiefs against Pecos. Brandon will be on the call for those 3 games there. And, folks, just keep watching. A lot of great things going on. A lot of students getting highlighted, and let's keep it going. So for Arlen Ponder and Zach Carlock, we're going to say good night. For Concho Sports Insider, folks, it's been fun.